Hello, and welcome to Replay Value. Returning viewers will remember that in my first Darling in the Franxx video, I said that I needed to do some more research on plants, so that I could be better prepared to talk about the motif in that show. Somehow it totally escaped my mind that there was another show airing this season that incorporated a lot of plants in its imagery. And yes, obviously the title of the very show itself. Violet Evergarden ended its 4th episode with a reminder that, indeed, flowers are important to the universe that Kyoto Animation has cooked up, especially in these anime original episodes, and nowhere was that more apparent than this most recent episode. Episode 5 is full of flowers. No, literally. Every shot from the moment Violet arrives in Drawplex is stacked to the brim with flowers, such that it is impossible to miss the overwhelming number. The flag of the country features a flower. There are flowers in every window box, flowers in people's hair, flowers getting sold, flowers, 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 flowers. I'm serious, just rewatch this episode if you don't believe me. I think there's at least one flower in every shot for the whole time Violet is in Drawplex. It's not just any flower that is featured so prominently though, it's the white camellia. And Kyoto Animation wanted you to know that that's what it was, because the castle is named after that very flower. And it's in almost every shot from the first moment Violet enters the castle grounds. But let's back up a bit first. Violet has been sent to ghostwrite love letters for the Princess of Drawplex, Charlotte, to her fiancé Prince Damien of Fugle. Fugle and Drawplex were previously on opposite sides during the conflict that took place prior to the start of the show, and this marriage is politically convenient for both countries as they enter an era of peace. Though the beginning shot on the river with the various military installations highlights the still existing tension in a visual way to what we were being told through voiceover. Princess Charlotte is nervous about her upcoming marriage, both the logistics of it, he's 10 years older than her, and generally unsure about leaving her country and home. And we're shown this, and her evolution towards being more comfortable with her future through flowers. The white camellia provides a clear symbolic meaning for Princess Charlotte. For Charlotte, the white camellia represents her comfort zone. Her home is named after the flower, her outfits have white camellias on them, her chamber room have them on the wallpaper, and the pillows she sleeps on have white camellias embroidered on them. When she's saying something she's not super sure about, she busts out her white camellia fan to cover her mouth. White as a color represents safety and protection, so that makes sense too. And it's not weird for a 14-year-old girl to desire those things, especially when her whole world is about to change when she gets married to Prince Damien. But the white camellia is also indicative of Charlotte's responsibility as a princess, because it's the name of the castle, because it's on her outfits, because it's on the flag, and especially because it's on her tiara. And you can tell that she's aware of this because when she wants to be a normal 14-year-old, she takes it off. It's a visible distinction, one that she's conscious of when she talks to Violet about meeting the prince for the first time, and says that she just wants to be herself for a moment. The white camellia is both her safety net and her status simultaneously. Fugle is interesting because their flag has a red rose on it, it appears on their soldiers' uniforms, and in the letter correspondence, red roses arrive with every letter. Much like white camellias represent Drawplex, the red rose represents Fugle. After the first letter exchange, Charlotte is upset because it doesn't respond to the imagery of their first meeting like she included in the letter that Violet wrote for her. The red rose that arrives with that letter disappears. But after Violet arranges for Damien and Charlotte to write the letters themselves, Charlotte starts taking care of the roses and puts them in a vase. The voiceover for the letters also changes from attendants to Charlotte and Damien themselves, highlighting that they're having a real conversation instead of some weird love letter obligated procedure. This special treatment of the roses, being added to the vase and smelling them, is a visual indicator of Charlotte beginning to add Fugle to her comfort zone, or at the very least Damien, who she grows more and more sure of wanting to marry with each passing letter. This reaches its symbolic peak when she accepts the last rose from Damien in person as he asks her to marry him. While Charlotte might still be nervous about leaving her home, she knows that she has a safe space with her fiancé and in the country with the red rose on its flag. And from here on out, the colors of the two flowers, the red of the rose and the white of the camellia, are shown in matching pairs and harmony, like this fade from rose to camellia, or this white and red wine that this couple is drinking, and also this red and white confetti that falls to celebrate the wedding. Let's talk about white camellias in the language of flowers. Sometimes they can mean mourning in the context of funerals, and they can also mean purity, which works well with the 14-year-old princess, and that meaning is doubled nicely with the white wedding dress that she wears. It also represents eternal love. For Prince Damien and Princess Charlotte, the white petals represent the woman, and the part of the green stem which holds the flowers together, the man. This is a hopeful sign for things to come. But that's not the only version of eternal love that the white camellia can mean. It can also symbolize the love between mother and child. We're shown throughout the episode of the relationship that Charlotte has with Alberta, her head attendant, and how it basically functions as a mother-daughter relationship. We're never shown Charlotte's mother, and only a brief image of her father, so Alberta is the closest to family that we see. And Charlotte also explicitly states this, and that if Alberta doesn't belong to Charlotte, which honestly was enough to pull at the heartstrings already, but it becomes a terrible day for Rain on the wedding day, and the ED plays. With the context that the white camellia means the eternal love between mother and child, and the fact that Charlotte's marriage means that she'll be leaving the castle and Alberta behind, makes the shot when Alberta puts the flower in the princess's hair all the more powerful. And the following shot of the flowers, as they share a final moment, is honestly a beautiful capstone on a pretty amazing episode. Okay, now that I'm done crying again, there's a lot of other great stuff here. The shots of the commoners reacting to and reading the letters is a great chuckle, and definitely achieves the sense of creating unity between the two nations that the fancy letters were supposed to initially. There are nice moments of direction, like this shot of the pendulum in the grandfather clock, whose motion prepares you for the princess to pace back before it even happens on screen. There's also just a bunch of really great Violet moments that round out the episode. And to end it on another flowery note, the camellia is sometimes referred to as the Japanese rose, which highlights the similarities between the two previously warring factions and also strengthens the compatibility between the two royals. I mean, who would have thought that a show called Violet Evergarden would wind up having so much flower imagery? Thanks for watching. This video is a blast to put together and we hope you enjoyed it. If you're interested in another Violet Evergarden analysis or a tearjerker of a haiku video, you can click on screen to access those. Let us know what you thought of this video, and until next time, thanks for watching.